Have you ever walked through a place where time seems to have stopped, where the silence is heavy, and the buildings stand as hollow shells, whispering tales of forgotten dreams? Welcome to Baltimore, but not the Baltimore you might know. We're about to journey into a hidden world, a billion-dollar ghost town nestled within the city's heart. Imagine, if you will, vast stretches of land, once promised to be a beacon of urban renewal, now lying desolate, a monument to broken promises. This isn't just a story about abandoned buildings. It's a story about vanished hopes, lost fortunes, and the enduring spirit of a community left behind. Prepare to witness a stark and haunting reality, a place where ambition turned to abandonment, and where the echoes of what could have been still linger in the air. This is the story of Baltimore's billion-dollar empty ghost town, and it's a story you won't soon forget. Baltimore, a city steeped in history and resilience, has always sought to reinvent itself. In the early 2000s, a wave of optimism swept through the city, fueled by promises of unprecedented urban revitalization. Ambitious plans were unveiled, promising to transform neglected industrial zones and vacant lots into a modern cityscape. Developers conjured images of gleaming high-rises, bustling retail spaces, and a thriving community hub. These were not just blueprints. They were promises that echoed through the streets, igniting hope and anticipation. Billions of dollars from both private investors and public funds flowed into these projects, fueled by the belief that Baltimore was on the cusp of a renaissance. Specific areas within Baltimore were targeted, with meticulously crafted plans for luxury condos, state-of-the-art shopping malls, and entertainment complexes designed to draw in residents and tourists alike. Architectural renderings depicted a future of prosperity and growth, a vision that seemed within reach. But as the years rolled by, the dream began to unravel. The 2008 financial crisis, a global economic earthquake, struck Baltimore with devastating force, but it wasn't the sole culprit. A tangled web of poor planning, bureaucratic red tape, and a lack of accountability contributed to the project's downfall. Projects stalled, funding dried up, and the ambitious vision began to crumble, leaving behind a trail of broken promises and empty spaces. We will now look at the details of those original plans and compare them to the reality we see today. To walk through these areas today is to step into a surreal and unsettling landscape, a post-apocalyptic scene playing out in the heart of a modern city. Empty buildings stand like skeletal sentinels, their windows shattered, their facades crumbling under the weight of neglect. Nature, with its relentless persistence, has begun to reclaim what was once intended for human habitation. With weeds and vines creeping through cracks in the concrete, and trees sprouting from abandoned rooftops, we see the ghostly remains of what were supposed to be luxury apartments. Their concrete frames exposed to the elements, their interiors hollow and empty. The silence is profound, an eerie stillness broken only by the wind whistling through empty corridors and the rustling of leaves in overgrown lots. Where once there was supposed to be the hum of city life, there is only the sound of decay. The sheer scale of the emptiness is staggering, a vast expanse of abandoned buildings and vacant land stretching for acres, a testament to the billions that were lost. We can see the ghostly outlines of unfinished buildings, roads that lead to nowhere, and parking lots overgrown with weeds, a stark reminder of the fragility of urban dreams. We will now explore some of the specific, key locations within this ghost town and document their current state. This isn't just a story about bricks and mortar, about concrete and steel. It's a story about the people who live in the shadow of this ghost town. The residents who were promised a better future, but now face the consequences of broken promises. We spoke to Mary Franklin, a longtime resident who has witnessed the rise and fall of this ambitious project and has lived through the consequences of the abandoned buildings. The impact is not just economic, it's social and emotional. A deep-seated sense of disappointment and betrayal. The blight of these empty spaces affects property values, discourages new investment, and breeds a sense of despair and neglect. It creates a feeling of abandonment, a sense that the city has forgotten about these areas and the people who live here. Residents nearby have to deal with the increase of crime and the decrease of property value, creating a cycle of poverty and blight. Let's delve deeper into the numbers, into the cold, hard reality of the economic fallout. Billions of dollars were poured into this project, from both private investors and public funds, fueled by the promise of a brighter future. But where did it all go? How did this ambitious plan unravel so spectacularly, leaving behind a trail of financial devastation? The economic fallout is immense. A staggering loss of potential. Lost tax revenues, depreciated property values, and the cost of maintaining abandoned infrastructure all contribute to the financial burden, draining resources that could have been used to address other pressing needs. There are many contributing factors, including the 2008 financial crisis, which hit Baltimore particularly hard, exacerbating existing problems and derailing development plans. But there were also miscalculations, poor planning, and a lack of oversight, a series of missteps that compounded the economic damage. The result is a financial black hole, a stark reminder of the risks of large-scale urban development and the importance of accountability. There were many lawsuits and bankruptcies that followed this failed project, leaving a trail of financial ruin. Despite the bleakness, despite the overwhelming sense of loss and disappointment, there is still hope. Community groups and city officials are working tirelessly to find solutions, to breathe new life into these abandoned spaces. There are talks of new development plans, of repurposing the abandoned buildings, and of creating green spaces, transforming these symbols of failure into beacons of renewal. But the challenges are significant, daunting. How do you attract new investment to a place that has become synonymous with failure? A place that bears the scars of broken promises. There are some signs of hope, glimmers of light in the darkness. Small businesses are starting to pop up in the surrounding areas, bringing a sense of vitality and optimism. Community gardens are being planted, transforming vacant lots into spaces of beauty and productivity. And there's a renewed focus on addressing the root causes of urban decay, on creating sustainable solutions that will benefit the community for generations to come. Ideas of urban farming, mixed-use housing, and art installations have been floated. Ideas that could transform the landscape. We can look at examples of other cities that have revitalized similar areas and learn from their successes and apply those lessons to Baltimore. The story of Baltimore's billion-dollar ghost town is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the importance of careful planning, community involvement, and responsible investment. It highlights the dangers of unchecked ambition and the need for accountability, a lesson that should resonate far beyond the borders of Baltimore. What do you think should be done with this ghost town? How can we transform these symbols of failure into beacons of hope? Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. And let's start a conversation about the future of our cities. And if you found this video informative, If you were moved by the stories and images we've shared, please like and subscribe for more stories from the heart of our cities, stories that explore the complexities of urban life and the challenges we face. Research your own cities and see what you can do to get involved in local revitalization efforts, to make a difference in your own community. This is a story that needs to be told, a lesson that needs to be learned, a call to action that needs to be answered. Thank you for watching and for being part of this important conversation.